The hearing process for the federal milk marketing order kicked off in Indiana yesterday. The industry expects 5 to 7 weeks of testimony and discussion on proposals to modernize the system. Bjerga with the National Milk Producers Federation joins us now from our Washington News Bureau for an update. Thanks for your time, Alan. How does this process work, and what does it mean for dairy farmers? What's at stake here?
So this is a once-in-a-generation hearing about the federal milk marketing order system, which is basically the milk pricing system that determines the check that dairy farmers get in the mail. This is a comprehensive look at a lot of the pricing practices, a lot of the formulas that are used in terms of deciding the relative importance of various components of milk. Also, things like pricing differentials that factor in transportation costs. It's pretty technical stuff, but it's very crucially important for dairy farmers as this industry has evolved over the last 20 years. You know, you take a look at the increasing use of dairy and milk for other products rather than fluid milk. You take a look at the boom in exports. You know, even things with some of the genetics and some of the crosses that you were talking about just in your last segment. It makes for a dynamic, rapidly evolving industry, but we haven't really looked at this in 23 years. It's time to take a thorough examination.
Absolutely. And we know that you have thoroughly prepared. What is going to be discussed in the next couple weeks, and how has NMPF gotten ready for all this?
Well, NMPF has been spending more than 2 years convening the leading technical experts in this industry to come together with a comprehensive program that has solid support in dairy country. You know, an important thing to understand about this process is that in the end, dairy farmers will be voting up or down on whatever the USDA decides may be a proposal for modernization of federal milk marketing orders. So NMPF, as the largest dairy farmer organization in the United States, has really took pencil to paper, taken a look at changes in the industry, and also, most importantly, taken a look at the balance of regions and sizes and business model among dairy farms for their interests. You know, there's a lot of things that may work really well for one set of dairy farmers, but not so much for others. It's a delicate balance to get nationwide consensus, and we really feel as we go into this process that we have that consensus moving forward.
That is wonderful to hear, because you don't hear consensus and Washington, D.C. often in the same sentence this day and age. Now, what are the next steps, and what type of a timeline are we looking at here? This is not going to be something that is settled easily. It's going to go on for quite some time.
Well, I like your remark about Washington and consensus, and it's important that this process has been farmer-led. This has been very much an outside-the-Beltway effort. We're now talking to the folks inside the Beltway at USDA, but they try to have their pulse on rural America, too. So we're hoping that once this hearing process is over and USDA takes a thorough look at all of the testimony, and this is under oath, that they come together and get a proposal early in 2024 that we can then take a look at and get to a farmer vote later that year. We could, as soon as a little over a year from now, have a new federal milk marketing order system in place that will benefit dairy farmers and the entire industry.
I love it. And yes, they'll be testifying under oath. And I love how you're so excited to take part in the process, part of NMPF, because you're transparent, you're honest. And when you have that working for you, going into a hearing like this makes it easier. Thank you so much for joining us. Bjerga with the National Milk Producers Federation. We appreciate your time.